Let's talk about private label dropshipping. This is a great opportunity to make extra cash, and I want to share with you the products, the tips, the hacks that you need to really implement today to actually make more money in private label dropshipping. So here are our opening arguments. When you think about private label dropshipping, first I want you to think about low maintenance online business idea. Okay, nothing really is less complicated than private label dropshipping because private label dropshipping actually takes the pressure of product development off an entrepreneur's hands. So all you have to do here is that you can actually go to market as soon as possible. So simply choose an existing product, add your branding, and have a dropshipper partner pick, pack, and ship the product to your customer. So a dropshipping partner can be Doba, can be Deezers. It can be it can be any partner that you have. It can be AutoDS, by the way. So when you think about private label dropshipping, I want you to think about a business model of actually selling third-party products directly to customers, but putting your own branding on those products. So as I said a little earlier, the primary benefit of private label dropshipping is that you can start an e-commerce business on a budget. So you don't have to spend thousands of dollars in terms of product development. No, you just actually don't try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented for you. Okay, just drive it. So unlike other private label businesses, dropshipping private label products doesn't require you to invest large sums of money upfront. So startup costs like product development, warehousing, and order fulfillment are taken off your plate because the third-party dropshipping supplier handles everything for you. So that's kind of good in terms of scaling, and you can scale real fast. So when we talk about private label dropshipping products, you have a large array of products to actually try. You can try anything from clothing to beverages. And now for beverages, be a little careful because anything that has to do with health, you might come under the supervision of the FDA. So be very careful there. You have coffee, you have cosmetics, you have phone cases, you have supplements, you have electronics, you have home decor, and you have toys. So you can actually do private label dropshipping for all kinds of products. So when we talk about private label dropshipping, I want you to really remember this following pro tips. First of all, you got to always think about your budget. You got to make sure that the vision you have actually is in sync with the monetary resources you currently have, right? So you want to read supplier reviews. You want to make sure that you are getting quality. You are actually attaching yourself to a reputable supplier. Remember, dropshipping private label products can be a great and long-term opportunity for you if you have the right supplier. If you can find the right supplier, you want to be across product details. So be very careful here. You want to go thorough. You want to go granular in terms of product details. So you have a clear idea what you buy, right? And you have a clear idea what you sell to the customer. You want to sell what you love, right? You want to associate yourself with things that you love, your passion industry, your passion niche. You want to test the product yourself. So gone are the days where you can just rely on a third party to actually test the product. If you are going to sell a private label product for a long time, you want to make sure you have a clear idea how the product really operates, and what better way to actually to find out way more if you by actually testing the product yourself. And you want to find your target market and niche. So when we talk about private label dropshipping, the question of niche becomes quite essential, right? Because you are in a very crowded, very competitive private label dropshipping market. If you don't differentiate yourself, you are not going to survive. Now, differentiating yourself means what? It means finding your target market and also zeroing in on your niche. So you have to read supplier reviews. So, and again, I'm giving you the pro tips here. Now, since your dropshipping supplier is responsible for producing, fulfilling, and shipping your private label products, it's important, therefore, to choose a reputable partner. And again, you want to start your search on platforms like Dropshippers, AliExpress, Alibaba, Spocket. We have actually covered a lot of those platforms on other shows. You want to rate reviews for each private label supplier on your shortlist. Other businesses using the supplier to private label their own products share information about what the company is like to work with. the quality of its products, and how responsive they are to customer support requests. So these are critical pieces of insight. This will tell you a lot if the company is reliable or not. Remember one thing though, customers who purchase private label products through your e-commerce websites, through your Shopify, through your BigCommerce, through your Magento, through your Big Cartel websites, will not know there is a third-party dropshipping service involved. So any mistake that they make are your responsibility to fix. Now, one thing I want to insist on is that you want to be across product details. So when we talk about product details, we're speaking about what? Granularity. You got to have a clear idea, and I mean to the T. You have to have a clear idea about the private label products that you are thinking about dropshipping. Now, let's quickly talk about the granularity, the level of breadth and depth. I want you to really go in terms of knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. So you got to really have a clear idea about the product specs, the branded packaging specs, the shipping timescales, and product certifications. Especially if you are in a niche or industry that requires governmental oversight, like FDA, or you have state authorities. They are actually regulating the economic sector that you have chosen. So when we talk about product specs, I'm speaking about the weight of the product, the size, the material, and color. And those are little those might be minor sort of details, but vis-a-vis your customer, they are important. And also you want to think about branded packaging specs, such as materials and logo file formats. You also want to look at shipping timescales, right? Because online shoppers, they expect free, fast shipping. And this is actually the result of Amazon. Amazon has promised everybody, they'll have free, fast shipping. So you want to actually reach the same sort of quality level as well. Also, you want to think about product certifications, such as FDA approved foods. That's what I told you a little earlier, right? Anything that has to do with food, you might need FDA approval. So FDA approved foods, cosmetics, and pet products. So you want to choose the private label manufacturer that hits as much of this criteria as possible. And what you want to do is you want to send them your branding idea, including a brand name and colors, for customizing the packaging for you. So that way you can be clear that you are getting what you want. One important element I want to really insist on, if you want to really succeed as a private label dropshipper, is to actually sell what you love. In other words, you want to associate your dropshipping business to your passion, right? I mean, passion doesn't necessarily mean that this is a side gig. No, it just means that you have knowledge of the field. You have a motivation to actually succeed. If this is something you love, right? There's a lot that goes into a customer's purchasing decision, which is why it's tough to sell new products you know nothing about. So look to the products you personally know and love, and so that you can actually put yourself in the buyer's shoes and see what kinds of questions the potential buyer might be asking himself or herself, what kind of roadblocks you need to actually eliminate in the customer journey. And so that's an important element. One thing I also want to insist here on is that if you are thinking about doing private label dropshipping, you have to also like when I mentioned sell what you love, you have to think about the geography where you're currently at. So if you are going to target a specific market, geographically speaking, you have to make sure that you are in the same geography, or you have a clear idea about that geography. Let me go a little further. Let's say you are in New York, right? But you say you want to sell skincare products to the Asian market. That means that you need to have a certain proximity with the Asian market, either because you have lived there, or you have partners who are currently living or working there, or you have some kind of a relationship with the region, right? Otherwise, you'll be selling stuff you have no idea about, and this is not the best way to actually be profitable in this industry. Okay. And so let me give you an example. If you are a skincare junkie, you will know what high quality products look like, the ingredients to look for when choosing your own private label skincare items, and the results you expect to see, right? You got to have a certain familiarity with the niche that you are actually engaging in, so that you can know the questions to ask, the answers to look for, and the level of quality you are basically expecting. Because remember, before being a dropshipping supplier or a dropshipping seller, you are also a customer. So you have to put yourself in the customer's shoes and really reimagine, or imagine for that matter, what the client will be looking for. Another way to be very successful when it comes to a private label dropshipping is to test the product yourself. See, the whole thing is, when we talk about testing the product yourself, this is quite essential. I mean, in a post-COVID world, customers are stricter when it comes to product quality. Okay, I mean, a lot of folks were kind of lenient, flexible before COVID, and then COVID happened. People were at home, they were stranded at home, and so they had more time to actually analyze the product they were getting in the first place, right? So you want to test the product yourself to be clear that you're getting quality, the kind of quality you expect from a third party seller. Because imagine, if you're a customer, what kind of quality can you expect from a third party seller? It's the same quality you will be actually promising your clients. Okay, so once you have chosen a supplier, this could be AliExpress or on Adobe or on other players. You want to order a sample or batch, for that matter, depending on their minimum order quantities, because basically some suppliers have what they call MOQs, and this is how they actually make sure that you're actually you're serious. Okay, so you want to order a sample or a batch of the products you'll be private labeling. Do items in the batch all look and work the same? That's a question. Or does the packaging and quality vary from let's say one product to another? So the thing is, when we talk about quality control, we are talking about what? Consistency. You got to have consistency across the board. So quality control has to be consistent, and so basically you want to make sure the products you're getting today are the same you got yesterday, and the same you are getting tomorrow. And that's how you actually promise consistency to your future customers. Okay, and so testing also gives you the opportunity to put yourself in a customer's shoes, from unboxing the package to using the privately labeled products. So you have the opportunity to actually to plan or to envision the customer itinerary, the customer journey. Okay, and so basically, this makes a great foundation for your marketing strategy. For example, record yourself using the product and post it on TikTok, a social media platform where users actually want to see behind the scenes content from their favorite brands. Now, when we talk about private label dropshipping, if you want to increase your chances of being successful in the long run, you have to actually find your target market and niche. I think I've said this before, but this is another important criterion. The niche is kind of quintessential. Why? Because nowadays, when we talk about e-commerce in general, and particularly we talk about dropshipping, you have a very crowded, competitive marketplace with thousands, if not millions, of players. And the thing is that it's not just about millions of players who are living next door. You have folks who are living across the world. You could be somewhere in Brooklyn or in Chicago and have competition from China, competition from Nigeria, competition from Brazil, competition from, say, Australia. So you have a lot of competition. So the only way you can actually, differentiate yourself is by choosing a niche you have a clear idea about, a niche that can resonate with you and that you can resonate with. Okay, avoid the temptation to sell a wide selection of products, please. You want to actually save a lot of resources, a lot of cash, a lot of labor also. So the more specific your dropshipping store, the better. Choose one product and hone down on it. Discover your target market, how your ideal customers use the product, again, the customer journey, and the purchase motivators behind their decisions. See, the whole thing is people buy products for a constellation of reasons, and those reasons can be emotional, can be logistical, can be objective, can be scenario based, can be also based on the timing. I mean, there are a few things people buy during the holidays they wouldn't buy, let's say, in January or February, right? So timing is really important. The chronology is important. The geography also could play an important role. I mean, basically, if you are, say, if you're in Asia versus you're in Africa, or you're in the States, or you're in Canada, you might actually be tempted to buy certain products that are geographically targeting your zone. And you also have to choose an e-commerce platform. You have to build your website, set your profit margin, add the products to your store at a markup. When you receive an order, send order information to your supplier and have them print, pack, and ship it to the customer. That's actually the whole idea behind dropshipping. Remember, the best dropshipping companies build a brand around their private label products, become known for one thing aimed at a target market of one type of person. And so a strong niche reputation will make it easier to expand your business later down the line. So this is kind of important in terms of scalability. Scalability is what's going to really solidify your reputation and profitability in the industry. So let me give you the strategy here before we close to this conversation. So the thing is, if you want to start your private label dropshipping company, you have to understand that you have a lot of possibilities. Okay, I mean, you can go with an e-commerce like an e-commerce player, or you can really start with a dropshipping partner. The thing is that we love the fact that you have a lot of players, including Shopify, that give you a chance to actually become a private label dropshipper as soon as possible. What we love about Shopify, for instance, is that they have something called Shopify Collective. I mean, this is really good. If you have no idea what I'm speaking about, you want to actually sort of research that program. So you can connect with US-based Shopify brands to easily sell their products. And with Shopify Collective, you can curate items from like-minded stores and ship them directly to your customers. So that's kind of cool because you are already tapping into an existing client base. Okay, and so this is really good. And you have to really understand that when we talk about private label dropshipping instead of regular dropshipping, we are actually hitting on an important point, because branded products increase the perceived value of your products and build brand awareness. With that, you will see higher return rates and higher sales. And you are able to find private label suppliers for your dropshipping business on platforms like Supply Me Direct, Drip Shippers, and Applique. Make sure to vet those that make your shortlist by checking, as I think I've said this to you before, but you want to check things like shipping timescales, MOQs, minimum order quantities, and customer reviews. And you can also create a logo for your private label brand. Okay, you can use a free logo maker online to actually build your brand, or you can design one yourself using a free tool like Canva, or you can go on freelancer.com, you can go on Fiverr, or you can go on Upwork to find a graphic designer to kind of help you to really craft a wonderful, captivating logo. So in closing, into this conversation, I spoke to you about private label dropshipping. I gave you the opening arguments, I gave you the pro tips, the strategy, and now the closing arguments. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.